Is that a bird in your background?
Yes, I'm in paradise. Sorry, let me take
fair.
it.
No, that's fair. You are in paradise. Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. Today we're talking about the second episode of Miss Marvel.
Yes!
And joining me today from an undisclosed location.
I really want to disclose it.
To celebrate, well, the fragility of life. It's Faridah! How are you doing, Faridah?
Hi! I am so good. I am on holiday. I'm in Morocco. I have drinks in my hand. I just watched Miss Marvel. I loved it. I can't wait to talk about it. I just wanted to say, Morocco does not have Disney Plus. Boo, Disney. So I had to watch it from the...
I don't know what you're talking about because, I mean...
Yes, you do.
No. Look, I'm trying to get Iman Vellani.
What is potluck?
I'm trying to get Iman Vellani on this episode, on this podcast. So I don't know if we're gonna. Anyways, guys, we're gonna talk about Miss Marvel because I'm really enjoying this show. But before all that, guys, if you're new to this podcast, welcome. If you're not, I mean, I'm surprised you're still here, but thank you. Please follow and subscribe to us on whatever.
And they stayed for me.
They did, and that's good. That's why we have you in for the entire 6-episode run. Please follow and subscribe to us, whatever platform you're listening on. Please also rate and review if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Yeah, we just spoke about the Barry season finale earlier this week. If you watch Barry, please check it out. If you don't watch Barry, really do watch Barry. It's a really, really good show. We have episodes on The Boys. We're probably going to touch on The Boys again before its finale. And yeah, and like I said, Faridah is going to be here for the entirety of our Miss Marvel run. She's going to try and juggle that with her new role as Streamer's latest writer.
Thank you. All gotten because I came on this lovely podcast. So thanks again, Bankole, for putting me here and finding me and stuff. Because of you, I get to watch TV for free.
You get to watch screeners now. That's cool. And you get to write about it. And that's cool. That's nice. Shout out to Mo.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Shout out to Mo, the best boss.
Imagine if you didn't say that. Like, imagine if you didn't say shout out to Mo. Like, first week on the team and you're not even shouting him out. That's like not the best way to start. I would have, yeah.
And today's actually his birthday, so I messaged him and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Mo, happiest of birthdays!" And like we were just like caps locking ourselves into oblivion until he was like, "Can we stop talking in caps locks now?" And I was like, "Okay, fine." But as you can see, I'm a very excited person. Yeah. He's a really cool boss. He's a really cool guy. And so are you.
Okay, thank you.
Why did you?
I was like a last minute throw of the compliment. And so are you. Don't worry.
No.
It's fine. It's fine.
Frankly, you're great.
Okay, thank you.
You're great.
Yeah. That was going to be the soundbite. Frankly, you're great. Okay, should we get into episode 2 of Miss Marvel?
Yes!
How are you making it look so easy?
Easy? It's definitely not easy. My whole life, I've either been too white for some people or too ethnic for others. And it's been this very uncomfortable, sucky in between. So when I first put this on, I was hoping to shut some people up. But I kind of realized I don't really need to prove anything to anybody.
Episode 2 of Miss Marvel. Titled Crushed, written by Kit Gritman and directed by Mira Minon. Okay, let me just give a very quick summary of this episode. Kamala, on a high from her new powers, tests them out with Bruno before being sidetracked by her crush on a new boy named Cameron, which, duh. Kamala and Cameron flirt and go on quote-unquote driving lessons. And then, at the Eid celebration, Kamala, dressed as Nightlight, clumsily saves a stupid boy before being chased by damage control via stock drones.
Stupid boy.
She's then saved by Cameron and his mother, who looks suspiciously like the woman she's been having visions of all episode. again, that's an episode that can be distilled into 2 or 3 sentences. So last week, you were very hesitant to gush too much about the show, saying that it was just the first episode. What do you think now, after the second episode of the show?
Yeah. Do you know what? They're winning me. They're really winning me. Because I was thinking first episode is going to be cute. It's going to be a pilot. I need a villain. I want to see what's going to happen. And they gave me, I don't know what the Mumsy is going to be. I think she's going to be like a villain, but kind of. But that white, the FBI woman or the police woman, that's a villain I hate.
That's
already.
white.
Should not catch that woman outside. Asking for ethnicity first. She said, is she Latin?
Yeah, I think her name is Diva or something.
God punish Diva. She's Southeastern. I said, excuse me, bitch. I was waiting for her to say black so I could really start tussling. So I like the villains. I like Aryan Moorhead because he is the best thing ever. I love Kamala now. I love the side plots. I love the integration because I think Mo mentioned it last week of having the issues within the Muslim community and what you could do to fix that. And like when her friend Nakia was talking about wearing the hijab for the first time and the differences and the dual identities, I was in love. I was like, okay, this show is real. It was written not to just please a white audience. It's funny. It's cute. It's about a girl and her crush. I was like, yeah, go, you go. Like, you know, that like first time when you're flirting with a boy in your teens and he's like, oh, funny. And for some strange reason, British in New Jersey. I loved how Bruce was jealous, but I'm sure he did not really know that he was jealous, but the actor was really great in that scene because you can tell
you actually calling him Bruce. Don't kill me.
What's his name?
Bruno.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like he called him Bruce. Oh, he called him Brian, actually. He called him Brian. Yeah, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Bruno. No one knows his name.
What did you think?
Again, another episode where I just watched smiling throughout. Nakia might be like, I don't want to say she's the best character on the show because we haven't seen much of her, but she's definitely up there.
Yes.
And yeah, that bit that she says in the bathroom, it's like, it's our thing where obviously it doesn't mean anything to me as a Black Christian man who spent like the first 18 whatever years in Nigeria. But all you need to do is do like a very, very brief perusal of Twitter, for example, to realize that like those 20 whatever seconds really impacted the people that they were meant to impact, like the people that they were for, people that identified with that. And yeah, it's also a different... I don't know, do you watch Rami? Do you know the show Rami?
I didn't watch Rami.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Rami.
So Rami is not like Miss Marvel. It is not wholesome in any ways, but it's also a show where there are very few shows that I can think of that like paint
Islamic identities in their fullness.
Yes, and not either as something that is obviously like terrorism or something that has to be battled with or something that's stopping you from being a full person or enjoying your life and things like that. And shows like...
The nuance.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, Rami is an R-rated show. So it's not like... You're not going to laugh throughout. The Rami is very, very awkward. It's a show that I really love. But I was just thinking about it because I think I watch lots of shows and I think maybe there are maybe 2 or 3 shows that I've seen people do the entire like process of going to the mosque and praying and the ablution and actually I don't know what it's called, but it's the service in the mosque, like all those things. There are very few shows where I've seen the entirety shown in a positive light. So that was nice.
Oh, do you know, the word positive as well. I was thinking, yes, good, positive light is good when everything else is negative, but also just normal, No one really questions when people go to church and sing. I don't think, ooh. So we're trying to like get that normalization of, is it good? Is it bad? It's just normal as people's identities at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're right, because I even have in my notes like her religion in this episode is really centralized, but it's not in a way of like, hey, look at this, like we're talking about this here. It's just like, yeah, this is her, and also a lot of people's like normal life. This is what she does. She goes late to the mosque apparently every week, and then she has to rush through ablution and everything, and then I think you and Mo alluded to it earlier, the kind of like the sexism that is present in the Islamic communities, where the men are very pampered in terms of like their section and everything, and then the women have to kind of all coop up in this rundown area of the mosque. So that was nice to see.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a question quickly, and then we'll move on to something. So you mentioned Amir's fiance last week. You said that you knew something about her.
Yes.
So was the thing that she's black, or is there something else?
Yeah, that's actually it. That she was black. And then something happens in the comics, but I don't know who the villain is in the show.
Yeah.
But she's actually just like, so in the comics, I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, listeners, I'm sorry. But I felt in the comics that she was like Sudanese, you know, and she was a lot more conservative. She was like very conservative on the show, but she wasn't like, I don't remember reading the comics and thinking this is an American woman, you know.
So she was like
really
Sudanese
nice
from Sudan, not like Sudanese American in the comics.
That's the vibe I got, but you know, I was like a dumb and a teenager, so maybe I just did not understand things too well.
That actually leads me to a point I want to discuss. So,
yes,
it's difficult talking about this show in a way that wasn't as difficult for Moon Knight, because just like this show, or just like Miss Marvel, I didn't know much about Moon Knight going in. But I guess for that, most of the people that I spoke to didn't know about Moon Knight either. So we're just going along with this show. But you're obviously a big fan of Kamala Khan, and you've read the comics and you know things. I am. So I'm trying to figure out what the best way is for us to talk about this show by the next month in a way that doesn't, because I'm stupid. Like, I'm very spoiler phobic. Like, I want the show to show it to me the way they show me, but in a way that also rewards people like you that have read the comics, but also doesn't like say, okay, this is what's going to happen with this character probably by episode 5. And so it's something I'm thinking about. I don't know what the best way I mean, I guess something we could do is, like, obviously you're very free. I mean, this is the burden I have to bear because I decided to do a podcast about the show. So whatever comes I have to take. But like, maybe we do something like where you theorize based on your knowledge of comics. But like, for example, if you know that Taisha is going to become a villain, maybe don't just say Taisha is going to become a villain. For example.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, well. But do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand the conundrum I'm in? Plus the possible solution.
Do you know what? If it makes you feel better, even though I really used to read the comics, everything's like vague. Also, Kamala Khan was very... So I knew that Bruno was gonna like her. But I don't want to say anything more because I feel like they're following a certain arc of the show. Okay, yeah. So I'm not gonna say anything. So things like that, maybe we don't. Yeah. We don't. So maybe we only theorize on things that you have no... Just trust me now. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I should trust you. You're now a streamer. Just trust me. I didn't say anything first. You're a streamer writer. Yeah, but I also don't want to I don't want to put you on a leash. I don't want to hold you back. I want you to feel free to show all your fandom and so I don't want you to be too conservative. So do you see? Do you know, also the show is very much MCU-ish. She was an Inhuman. True. She had a lot. She was a young Avenger. She was friends with Miles Morales. There's loads of things that just are not possible. Yeah. I can't even really talk about. She and Miss Marvel are boys. They're not boys here yet. So there's many things. Oh, her and Captain Marvel. Yeah, she and Captain Marvel are boys. But they're not boys here yet. Maybe soon enough. So. Okay, you mentioned the Inhuman thing about her, and we talked about it again in the first episode. So Bruno makes a point to say that her powers are not coming from the Bangle, they're coming from her. I don't think they're going to use Kamala Khan to introduce Inhumans to the MCU. The MCU 616. Yeah. But it has an interesting thing that, what does that mean? What is her power? I mean, I do get the impression that they're trying to use... I don't want to say they're using generational trauma, but generational trauma is going to play a role in this. I mean, you can tell that her mom clearly has some ill feelings towards her great-grandma. And by all assumptions, her great-grandma probably had either some powers or some connections to powers and everything. So it's this is something, I think, something that she was probably... was in her blood, essentially. Yes. And maybe the Bangle unleashed that. So that's interesting. I'm interested to see how they do that. As someone who's read the comics, yes, do you, again, obviously trusting you without any spoilers, is Cameron and Cameron's mom, are those characters you know? Not in the slightest, man.
Oh, really?
I was wondering who's this boy with his British accent come to talk to her, talking about his momsy and all those kind of things. Maybe I've forgotten, but I don't want to say this because that's actually a spoiler. But like Kamala, from what I recall, doesn't have many love interests. So like, there's a main like person for her. So it's really interesting to bring about this British.
I mean, just as someone who watches TV and films, and just the way that like you kind of feel like maybe they've positioned Bruno and Kamala as like endgame.
Ha! You used endgame. You're such a nerd.
But it's like Cameron's a bit too good to be true. If that makes sense. Like,
of course,
he's like, I think when what does she say? I think she says Ami, and then she tries to explain that Ami means mom, and it's like you don't have to do that. Like,
I already know that Ami means mom. Then they come with their charm. These British people. Sorry.
Okay.
I have a vendetta I'm running out.
Yes. Do you want me to clear out? I can give you like 5 minutes just to talk about what's this vendetta? What is it? What's going on?
No, London boys have finished me, man. Bankole, that's all it. That's it. London boys.
So like the accent is just once you hear the accent, is no. You just turn that off.
Twitching. I heard they come.
Even when he's doing everything right, because Cameron is doing everything right.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they always do at the start.
Fair enough.
That's what they always do at the start.
Yeah, I don't even. That was what was I saying? But yeah, no, like he's a bit too good to be true. He likes the things she likes. He argues about Kingo with her, which I like that. I thought that was a nice tie-in, like the fact that Kingo has been an actor,
Kingo Senior and stuff. I was dumb because I didn't know what they were talking about. And then I went on the internet, and then, the fandom was like, oh, it's good to see that the Eternals is being incorporated into the show. So I was like, oh, and then it made sense. I really like that, though. I like when the MCU does all this, like, I don't know if they're Easter eggs or... Are they Easter eggs?
Well, I guess maybe they're tie-ins. Or maybe Easter eggs as well. I don't know. I mean, we've had 2 Scott Lang mentioned in back-to-back episodes. So that's...
Yeah.
I mean, keep on coming. Yeah, so no, I mean, to me, he just seemed he seemed very too good to be true. So if there was a heel turn in his future, I won't be surprised about that.
Haven't we already seen the heel turn? In terms of the fact that his momsy already knew about Kamala and stuff, and he saved her.
But for now, he saved her, so for all we know right now...
That mommy was giving villain.
She was giving strong villain vibes. Like I've been looking... But it's also like, why is... Like, obviously, throughout the episode, I'm thinking that she's having visions of her great-grandma. Yeah. Her mom's grandma, so her great-grandma. And then it's the same woman at the car. You're like, okay, what was she having visions of this woman? It's like those kind of things that I have no idea about. Which is why I'm surprised that like she's not even in the comics. Like, or rather, you don't know her from the comic. I thought she was going to be like a main person from the comic.
Should I Google and try and see?
No, don't. Why?
I'll make you happy.
Let Bishake Ali show you everything that she wants to show you.
I can't lie to you, I'm a big spoiler person.
Oh my God. You're one of those people.
I'm one of those people who reads... so the thing is, my thing isn't what happens. My thing is how does it happen, So like, spoiler alert if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, which would be crazy, because come on. Ned Stark dying.
Yeah.
I found out when I I watched the pilot, someone told me Ned Stark dies. I was like, oh, so I swear, that's great. How's he gonna die? So that's how I like to watch shows. Like, how do you get to that spoiler? Not what the spoiler is, because,
I mean, I've heard this before. I've heard this a lot of times, but I don't know. I don't, this is my heel. I don't buy it. I don't believe. Because like, yeah, obviously you say like you prefer or all you care about is how it happens.
Yeah.
But if you didn't know it was going to happen, it's still, that's an extra thing that you get. Because you get how it happens, but you also get when it happens and why it happens, all these things that you didn't know was going to happen. So it's an extra, like you get the same thing you're going to get before plus an extra bit.
I think I'm a bit too control freaky for that. I think it's best
maybe.
for me.
I mean, maybe. I know of someone who went to watch Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Again, spoiler, but if you listen to this, you probably watched Infinity War. And I think obviously in the first 8 minutes, Loki dies, Heimdall dies.
Yeah.
The whole of Asgard dies. And she was just like, nope, this is too much for me. And just goes on Wikipedia in the cinema and just reads the entire plot. of the movie. She's like, I don't, and I'm like, I can understand on an anxiety basis because this is a #ally podcast. We don't like to.
Safe space.
Yeah, exactly. So I can understand on that basis. But if it's just like, I don't know, like, you want to know how it happens, but also want to know why it happens and if it happens. And I don't know. I just think, I don't know. Maybe it's just one of the things that I can't understand unless I'm one of those people, which I'm not. Do you know what I want? I want Agent Cleary to interrogate me just so he can pump up my ego first. Because, like, I love his whole very obvious good cop routine. Like, he did it in No Way Home. We did it again. Like, just pump. I want him to pump up my ego. Just like, I need that kind of self-esteem boost. Let him just say things about me and I'm like, are you Bankole from Popcorn for Dinner? Like, I really love your podcast. Do you know where the Inhumans are? Like, I want him to pump up my ego first because, yeah. Also, I get to be in the same room with Ariane Moayed, which would be great. So.
Ariane Moayed. The things I would do.
Okay, let's keep it PG. Let's keep it PG.
Okay, I actually saw it, yeah.
Oh my God.
No, you know what? It would be nice. The things I could do as a friend.
Yes, you could. Yeah. Well, okay.
It was great seeing him. He's absolutely fantastic. I quite like how I love a secondary character that's just like swimming in the waves of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Great acting. Really good cop. Obviously, I didn't believe him, but I was also like, like, he gassed me too. As he was gassing me, he was gassing me.
Oh,
and then that stupid woman now entered with her. You know what? Do you know what I really like?
Oh.
You know what I really like?
Mm-hmm.
How it was a bit sorry, I swore.
Fine.
It's a bit like
that's fine.
Tail down the pigs because the fact that he knew she was racially profiling whoever the superhero was, and he was like, be respectful, but you're still part of the issue. I love this because it shows even though you want to try and whatever, when you're in the system gets you.
True.
Mic drop.
Yeah. Let's end the episode there. Let's just go out. That's good. I mean, yeah. Also, the line of like, we know the FBI is also surveilling them. It's just like, yeah, those little lines like that are nice.
Wouldn't you think though that by this time in the MCU they'll have like a superhero board or a superhero base? Like, why are you still using guns? I don't get it.
So what do you mean?
Like, there should be a special
like an inhibitor
area
color
of government that deals with superheroes.
Oh, that's damage control, isn't it?
Yeah, but is damage control fully fledged out now?
I mean, we don't know. I'm assuming they will probably keep on growing us. But they've been the ones that have responded to every superhero, like vagrant or vigilante or whatever. Obviously with Peter in No Way Home and then now. So I guess they are meant to be the guys that replaced S.H.I.E.L.D. Also, we don't know if the Sokovia Accords are still in place.
Oh yeah! You're such a nerd, Bankole. Look at you knowing all these things.
I am such a nerd.
You should go and watch for them. There's nothing wrong with nerdiness. I'm very nerdy.
I'm claiming it. Speaking of nerds, do you want to know my Iman Vellani journey over the past week since we last spoke?
Yes, go on.
So, I have consumed so many videos of this girl. I think I sent you a video saying that she's an industry plant because she knows way too much about the MCU. She's too charismatic. Like, it's like, oh, they found another one. Like, they found another Tom Holland. Like, there was a, I can't remember. You know how they always do all these quizzes or interviews with MCU stars when the movie's coming out, like the hardest MCU quiz, or can you guess this MCU quiz or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're always quite like bullshit. They're always quite like very easy. And there was one, I can't remember what platform it was that she was doing. And this was like a difficult one. This was like, I did not know half of the answers.
What did they ask her?
I'll look for it and I'll send it to you. Based on everything that like Kevin Feige has said about her, like she's that person. Like she's Kamala Khan, but for the MCU instead of for like Carol Danvers. Like she was just, I was just like, oh, okay, you're serious about this. Fair enough. Okay.
I'm very happy for her then.
Yeah, I'm very impressed by her. She's incredibly, I saw her on The Daily Show, just like holding her own. She's just very charismatic. So things like that, when you just know, oh, like this person enjoys what she's doing and she's happy being here and she's not just doing it to become a famous person. It's a lot more wholesome and nice to see.
She is very wholesome. Yeah.
Should we talk about Bruno quickly? Should we talk about Bruno? I mean, he's clearly in love.
Yes, but it's one of those cute loves where he's like, I don't know, I'm just a bit jealous. Why is he trying to talk to her? He doesn't really know that he likes her yet. And I think that's so teenage and so dumb, but it's also so teenage.
Mhm.
And it really adds to the coming of age. This show is for teenagers to watch. I know, I do ship them, but like I also really love a good friendship. And I like how they're situated in friendship first. I don't want them to even start dating until like season 3. Let's just slow pace. They're young.
I mean, I guess the ideal situation would be if she wasn't with a white boy. But
Oh yeah, that's true. But I would love for them to talk about that. The fact that, he's actually a white boy.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
And
Also, it's been interesting because
like
he's basically been adopted by the
go on.
family.
True. And I'd like to see the friends to lovers dynamic. Everyone thinks that it's like smooth. It's actually very unsmooth. So I'd love to see.
Are you speaking from experience?
Am I speaking from experience? Actually, I'm not.
Is that part of your London boys stories?
No. Bankole, you should just be apologizing to me for your gender, honestly.
Oh, that's all I do. I just go out every day. Like every time I see it, I'm just like, I apologize for my gender. That's all I do. I understand.
But no,
because again,
I just want to say
#ally.
Thank you. I was going to say something. Yeah, so the friends to lovers dynamic is actually kind of rocky, especially because he's been basically adopted.
Mhm.
So I want them to discuss the rockiness of, especially from her parents' point of view. Because like, as a parent, I can understand why they'd be a bit like, what's going on? Like, has this always been his plan? Has he just commit? Like,
Mhm.
Well, you don't know. I hope you don't know. Do you know?
No, I don't know. I can only assume.
Life has been good to you, Shay. Streets have been kind.
Yeah, I was gonna go down a very problematic incel joke line, but I've changed my mind about that. So let's move on.
Thank you, God.
No, one of my favorite points in the episode is when he appears at the Eid celebration and he's like,
"Yeah,
is it not too bright?" And her mom is like, "I don't understand the question." And I'm just like, I think like her line readings are so good. Like she sounds so much like an ethnic mother, like a Pakistani mother or a black mother. She just like is like the way when Kamala goes down to take the groceries, which is something we've all done. Like when your parents are angry at you and you want to apologize, so you ask to take the groceries first. And then she says like 3 words of like, oh, thank you. Like her tone is so almost laid back, but also not, but also like very like motherly and weathered and almost jaded. Just like, it's just like, she was like, oh, okay, thank you. And it's like, it just sounds very much like a mother. And like, oh, yeah, this is such a, and like, she's like, I don't understand the question. What do you mean too bright? It can't be too bright. This is an Eid celebration. So, yeah, and I assume like, I presume she's going to have a lot more to do in the next 3 episodes just because of the family, what they call it.
Carrying around a lot of shame. I wrote that down in my notes because me too, I now have notes since we did this podcast. And I wrote down that that she has a lot of shame that she's carrying on with her, and it's heavy. I think part of her story arc and part of what Kamala will do for her is give her the ability to shed off that weight, that generational trauma, that shame that ethnic families carry on and stuff, like about her great grandmother being a murderer and someone who has affairs, allegedly, which is probably just a woman who had powers and like was a little independent.
Witch trials? Now I'm just remembering like the witch trials. Oh, this woman can read. She's a witch. Like
yes, I know it's crazy. Women have suffered.
That'll be the title of this episode. Women have suffered. That'll be the title of this episode.
I don't know how I feel about some 3 black men just saying women have suffered on there.
But you're here. You're here.
No, don't use me.
You're my shield.
What that reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of? In the boys, when they will now say, "Oh, Starlight, go into that picture." So
exactly.
That doesn't look too. No,
exactly. You're my shield.
Don't do that to me, please.
I
refuse.
No, of course. Yeah, no. Like I think I'm very excited. Mo mentioned this last episode. I didn't know this because I only watched, I think, the first trailer, the first teaser that came out.
Mm.
I didn't watch any other trailer intentionally. So apparently they go to Pakistan, which obviously
Awesome.
would have to do a lot with her mom and her grandma, probably her great grandma as
And her
well.
great grandma.
So that's like, again, there's probably going to be a big bad. I doubt to be Cameron's mom. I think that's a bit too obvious. Maybe someone else. I'm fine without having.
Oh, I can't wait until Cameron's mom and Kamala's mom meet. I hope they meet and they have that like Bellatrix versus Molly Weasley kind of moment where it's like women fighting, but like for one's fighting for love, one's fighting for power. Like I can't wait to see that. I love those like parallels.
That'll be interesting to see, but I can't. I don't know. Don't hold your breath. I hope it works. I hope it comes through. But that's like, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah, is it because I'm
sorry.
Is that the male gaze? No, is that the male gaze? That's fine. That's fine. You know what? Let me have it. Just throw it at me. That's fine. It is the male gaze. You're right.
That's fine. That's fine. My fault.
Anyways, yeah. What else we have to say about this? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have something. Oh, you go first.
Oh no, I was just going to talk about Nakia, and like, I just love whenever she's in the background of a scene. Like, something I really like, and this might be from like the performance part of me, is just when someone is in this scene and not saying anything but has to react, because it's one of the hardest things to do in acting, reacting to other people saying stuff. But it's just like when you see Nakia, just like, for example, when she realizes that Kamala likes Cameron and wants to go to the party, there's a smile she does where that smile alone just conveys years of friendship, and she's like, oh, of course, like she's like I know, like and then, or even in the car when Bruno says the thing about the actor, and she's like, she knows that Bruno is jealous, and she does his smile as well, just like, this is funny seeing my two friends, even when Cameron calls him Brian, and just like, I just like those little things from Nakia because it shows that like she's a good friend, and
she's very intelligent,
exactly, and also very emotionally intelligent. So which hurts a lot when she becomes a villain in episode 5. But you know what? Anyway, I hope not. Knock on wood. As someone who's not read the comics, I hope that doesn't happen, but I just feel like that's coming down the line. Anyways. Okay, what did you want to say?
I was going to say, I apologize for insulting Marvel about the fact that her powers are not super stretchy. I think they fit into the universe. I think they're telling a good story. I hope they're telling a good story. I would have loved if her hands were stretchy, but I understand that money is not always there and does not really make too much sense. And this story is more grounded into heritage, which is an important story of Kamala Khan. So this is my formal apology to
I'll clip that and send it to Feige.
Thank you.
Let him know that you're up.
Take my condolences.
Something I want to talk about. I can't remember it now. Oh well, that's fine.
Have you spoken about how important it is that they mentioned like Pakistani heritage and
the partition?
The partition.
No, we can mention it. I mean, I'm a bit scared to talk too much about it, not knowing that much about it, but yeah.
Oh, I just want to say that it's important, and I think it's really good that they did that. I think it's smart how they did that as well, because it's kind of it's basing it on reality and honesty and people's live in realities. I like the fact that it wasn't just like randomly, because no family. Do you know what else I really like? How they insulted the British. Because it's true, the British left them with rubbish and nonsense. Like they left Nigeria with rubbish and nonsense that they controlled.
That's not very Queen's Jubilee of you, is it?
What do you mean? God punish Queen. God punish the Queen. God punish Lizzie.
Jesus.
William. Catherine. And who else is there? Charles.
Oh my God.
Camilla. George. All of them.
Who's George?
Down monarchy.
Is that George? I mean,
George is the last one.
What, the
George is
child?
going to be your
child's
king. That one. All of them. That ancestry of
my God.
colonialism. They've destroyed so much. It's good that they mentioned how they left countries in tatters. So
I mean, obviously, the fact that Bisha is British Pakistani is also nice.
Yeah, I'm British Nigerian, but God punished.
No, I'm saying it's nice that Bisha gets to like. Obviously, she didn't write the episode, but like she gets to control that revenge. I guess revenge.
Yes,
Revenge.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that was my point about generational trauma. I think they're gonna, not that they're gonna directly link, I doubt they directly link her powers to partition. That seems a bit too ambitious and a bit messy to go into, but like, it's fine that like, plays a part. It's like, it's almost, I don't know if you watched, did you watch Watchmen, the HBO show?
I wanted to, but I did not.
Okay, well, you should, it's never too late. But obviously that plays around with, which I guess Lovecraft Country did it as well, but with the Tulsa Massacre and using that as kind of like black trauma. Destroying Black Wall Street in America. So it's like, again, it's kind of, yeah. So I like that they were able to go there and that Marvel allowed them to go there. And
good. Well, Marvel doesn't, them, anything that will make them money. It's not
I feel like you're going to come back with another Marvel apology next week because we just keep on doing it.
No. They still are very capitalist.
Oh, I mean, obviously. Obviously.
So whatever makes them money. And they also know now that whatever is happening, they're going to make money, so they can just do what they want.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, not to be the shill, the capitalist shill, but like this is a big, not as a humongous swing, but it's a big swing. Yeah, they're bringing out a show with a Pakistani American teenage girl talking about partition and going to Eid.
Yes, that was so beautiful to see, honestly. It was really, really great. And I'm very interested in the interraciality between Amir and Taisha. And I'm wondering if they will ever mention anything or if we're just going to be like, oh, okay, it's cool. I'm fine.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going there.
Yeah, you know what? Fair. You know what? Not all the time, I guess.
They're engaged, right? So I'm assuming whatever discussion they've already had them.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll stay.
I like Taisha.
Yeah.
I should be a Taisha woman.
Oh, I mean, we didn't even talk about the fact that like when she tries to, not even tries, she successfully puts Cameron as their cousin from Uncle Chaudhry, and it's just like, obviously Taisha does not believe that, but I think Amrit does. It's like,
yeah. He's giving a bit of himbo, but it's cute.
But girls like himbo, right?
I love a himbo.
Okay.
I love someone that's just not intelligent at all. Sorry. I actually like men really smart.
No, I don't. Yeah, anyways. Okay. Are you watching Love Island? There are a few himbos there right now.
Oh, Dammy is such a babe. He's so stupid. I just want to hug him. I just want him to come home. I'll wait for him.
So does Amber. Amber wants him to come home as well.
Yeah, well,
Amber doesn't want him there. Anyways, okay. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts, predictions, what you hope to see for coming episodes, next episode?
Great question. I want to know what Cameron's mommy is. Why did you laugh? I didn't say anything.
Just go on. You sounded like, I don't know, you were surprised by the question.
I was surprised by the question. I didn't think of the answer, but I'm going to spitball.
Yeah.
I want to see what Cameron's mommy, what her thing is. Like, where's she from? Why is the car so nice? Are they rich? Why did she go to Britain?
Why is the car so nice?
All those kinds of questions. I want Bruno to go to school.
Yes, Bruno, please go to California. Like, I mean, you're young, I understand it, but like, this is something I have a whole agenda on. Never put your life on hold for love,
bro.
Please,
especially
go to school.
What has love done
go to work. Go. If I think it's Australia, go to Australia, please. Anyways,
I know if it was my son and you were saying all that rubbish.
So it's in California, eh?
You better get your ass.
There are girls in California as well, Bruno.
I know, Bruno. Is that not? This is even the best time to do long distance. There's FaceTime. There's Zoom. You'll be fine, bro. You'll be fine. She does not even love you yet. And you want to stop and stay in Jersey City. So, yes, I want him to go to school. I want to see more of Taisha.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's a great role model. I wish maybe I would not have been doing such wicked ways in my life if I saw Taisha when I was like 15, 16.
Yeah, but what's wrong with doing wicked ways?
You see, Taisha now, she's found a family.
But you don't know what she was doing. Maybe she was doing wicked ways before she found a family.
It's true, Sha. That would be fun to see. If I ever have like a biopic or like, is it a biopic? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a biography maybe.
Yeah.
I would love to see how they transition me out of my wicked ways into my future destiny.
But have you transitioned yet?
No. What is the
Exactly.
problem?
So maybe when it happens, then we can figure out how to put it on screen.
Thank you.
Or you can just be
I
wicked
like the
for
confidence.
the entire your life. Like what? Like
I don't know, man. I like the idea of heaven. It sounds cool.
okay. On that note, on the fact,
Sorry.
on our agreement that
What do you expect?
we like the idea of heaven. I don't expect anything. As someone who doesn't know anything about the character or the show, I honestly don't expect anything.
That's such a fake answer. No.
Yeah, but
Can't say that
it's true. I mean, I want to know about. I mean, obviously, I want to know about Cameron's mom. That's the main thing. I want her to tell Nakia. Like, I think I understand why she's not, because it sounds like Nakia kind of hates superheroes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's from the comics or not. But I think Karen Bruno should tell Nakia. I just feel like they should all three of them should know. But apart from that, I mean, I also want to tell her family. I know that's probably gonna happen at some point, I assume. Unless she's gonna be, yeah, exactly. I want to see that reaction of how the family react.
Magic.
But unless she's gonna be fighting aliens with Captain Marvel without her parents knowing, I assume she's gonna have to tell her parents over the next 4 episodes. So
yeah, she's the type to tell her parents.
yeah, and then
I have spoilers about Cameron now.
Okay, don't tell me. Thank
I'm not
you.
going to tell you.
Why did you do this to yourself? Oh, okay.
I'm doing it to. I'm not gonna say.
Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You got to learn more about Faridah. You learned about her wicked ways. You learned that she hates British men and also really hates the British monarchy. So my job is just for every episode for you to know more about Faridah. And when we finish this 6 episode run, you guys will feel like you're best friends with her.
It's so funny. You know what is really terrible? I've said so much and you said nothing. So they're going to only come for me.
Well, yeah, but that being said, I have like 80 plus episodes of saying things about myself. So like it's like a backlog of maybe I've run out of things to say about myself. I do live quite a boring life.
Oh, that can't be true.
Oh,
that can't be true. You haven't lived up to 30 years. I'm sure there's more.
You'll be surprised.
Are you 30? Wait, sorry. Are you 30?
And on that note,
you can't be 30.
Like, no, Jesus, no, I'm not. Like, okay, I found out this isn't oh, okay. I guess I'm going to spend the rest of the
People can be 30.
Yeah, they can be. Good luck to them. Anyway, I guess I'm going to spend the rest of the day being depressed. Anyways, okay. Guys, Friday will be back next week. We'll talk about episode 3. And I think we might do some The Boys chats next week as well, just to see where the season has gone at that point. For now, I'm going to let her go enjoy her holiday.
Thank you.
While I run away from these Stark drones. And yes, obviously, as always, shout out to... Also, I thought that was a nice thing, the fact that they were using the Stark drone, like, because they obviously have access to it from No Way Home. That's just like a nice little...
Yeah.
I guess, like you said, time or Easter egg that they were using that.
Fuck Tony Stark a bit, sure, but it's okay. That's another episode.
Wahala. Okay.
Tony Stark does not pay his staff. Sorry.
Well, he was taking care of them when he was alive. Also, on that note, Sam Wilson is kind of dumb. Like, look at Scott Lang. Scott Lang has his podcasting career. He's paying for his food. He has money coming in. Meanwhile, Sam Wilson is going to... What?
There's generational trauma in him. Sorry that he grew up poor and he doesn't know how to do this.
He could have done a podcast.
Sorry that he went to go and serve his country.
Who sent him?
He's not a podcaster.
Who sent him to go and serve his country? Yeah. What did Isaiah tell him? Who sent him to go and serve his country?
I don't...
Got him.
Sorry that, Tony Stark does not just cater to the people that he's putting
we should be
at risk all the time.
No, person that should be on blast is Pepper Potts. She's girl bossing.
Why?
Because she's wanting to take care of them. Tony Stark is dead. He can't take care of them from the grave. She's not paying for them.
She's grieving. She's grieving.
Yeah, okay.
What year is the MCU in now?
We don't know.
Actually, is it 2025?
We don't know. I don't think.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because for the last few movies, they try to they've been covering it. Like, for example, if they're the Tombstone, they cover the death date. So I don't think we know for sure yet. Because what?
If I find out, what should I do to you?
You can... If you find out for sure, like, not like a theory or a rumor, if you find out, confirmed that this is the year they're in,
yeah.
Like maybe Feige said it was in a TV show or something, I'll be interested to hear. I don't think there is though. But we can say that to next week.
You didn't say I'll do anything. Alright. That'll be my homework.
Okay.
I love how funny you find me. It's great for my ego.
That's my job. I just try to pump up your ego. And everyone. Okay, guys. Thank you for listening to this episode. and trying to. I think you got some Miss Marvel points from this episode. I think.
I hope.
I don't know how much Miss Marvel we spoke about on this episode, but yeah. Shout out to obviously my co-host James, Ebuka, Chinedu, and to you guys for listening, and to Bishaki Ali for creating this show that I'm really enjoying.
Yes.
And yeah, join us next week. When are you going to be back from your holiday next week?
Well, people should not know where I am now.
You're the one that willingly said where you were. I did not want to say it, but then you said, "Oh, I'm in blank."
We'll see. By God's grace,
Anyway,
I'll be
okay.
somewhere else. Yeah.
This is
Life is one.
It is one. It is one. Okay, guys, join us next week, and I'll be joined by the incredible Oscar winner Daniel Collier.
Amen.
Bye, guys. Are you drinking alcohol?
Maybe.
Okay, no, just wondering because it's not at noon, but I guess you're on holiday. That's fine.
Is there judgment?
No, of course not.
In the air?
Of course not. Who am I to judge? If anything, I'm living vicariously through you.
Thank you.
Okay, Kamala on a high.
It's very diluted though.
Why? Why is it diluted then?
Because it's an all-inclusive hotel. So, when things are all-inclusive, it's by
It's from the
tightness of their pockets.
Oh, it's from the hotel. Oh, I thought you made it yourself.
It's not one of my talents to make alcohol.
What's the time? Just to pour two things into one another.
Don't hate bartender's game.
True. We want all the listeners we can get. Sorry, bartenders. I didn't mean anything. Anyway, let's go back to the episode.